coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
Iowa has sent notice that the Republican nominee and the next president of the United States will not be chosen by the media.
We now know who came out on top of the first elections for president this year. The full results from Iowa and what some other candidates had to say is just ahead. Plus, police are investigating the death of a Phoenix City man in Columbus, and we are getting an exclusive look at the moments prior to his death. That's just ahead.
We're tracking a little bit of fog out there this morning, but still tracking also a heavy storm threat for tomorrow morning. We'll have a detailed look coming up.
Hello there, and welcome back into News Leader 9 Morning for this Groundhog Day, February 2nd. It's a Tuesday. I'm Chuck Leonard.
And I'm meteorologist Greg Majewski.
And it's interesting. You talked about the fact that the temperature, as it goes up, the fog goes with it, right?
Yeah, it's because the warmer the temperature, the more moisture the air can hold.
Gotcha.
So as it goes up, the fog starts to lift and dissipate a little
really
bit.
heavy earlier.
Yeah, because it was a little bit cooler earlier, so hopefully it won't be too big of a problem. But tomorrow morning, Chuck, that's going to be really the main discussion for us is going to be the heavy rains and storms we're expected tomorrow morning.
Here in West Alabama.
Here and definitely, getting to Alabama for tomorrow, later this afternoon into this evening. Now, right now, 56 degrees here in Columbus. Again, we've come up about 3 degrees this morning, so that's a good thing. 61 in LaGrange, 55 degrees in Thomaston, as you can see where the dense fog advisories covering everybody, but really hasn't been all that bad. I saw just one location touch zero briefly in Americus, but even it has come up a little bit. Here's where the current conditions are, looking at about half-mile visibility there in Americus and Eufaula and LaGrange, but here in Columbus, 3 miles, not too bad. But again, be careful. You'll run across that fog here and there across this morning. Cloudy skies for today, watching for some active weather eventually coming to Mississippi and Alabama as we head into the late afternoon hours. Flight delays anywhere in the middle of the country from Minneapolis down to New Orleans. Check ahead with your carrier. There could be some cancellations, some flights, and some delays there. Currently 56 degrees up in the ATL in Atlanta. School bus forecast, moms. Temperatures here in the 50s. Again, some fog around and only a slight chance of a shower for this afternoon. Main rain threat should come in until after 6. Highs today unseasonably warm, right around 74. We come back next. We'll take a look at your hometown forecast.
Greg, thank you much. 6:31 now. The results of the Iowa caucuses are in. Starting with the GOP, Texas Senator Ted Cruz walks away the winner. He got 28% of the vote yesterday. Donald Trump comes in second with 24%. Marco Rubio a close third with 23%. A virtual tie between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Clinton got 49.9% of the vote. Sanders getting 49.5%. The remainder of those votes went to Martin O'Malley, the third candidate, getting less than 1%. He has now suspended his campaign for the White House. Both Clinton and Donald Trump spoke to supporters at rallies last night after the results came in.
We will go on to get the Republican nomination, and we will go on to easily beat Hillary or Bernie or whoever the hell they throw up there.
I am honored to stand in the long line of American reformers who make up our minds that the status quo is not good enough, that standing still is not an option, and that brings people together to find ways forward that will improve the lives of Americans.
Stay with us for Good Morning America in about 25 minutes. They'll offer live team coverage from Iowa and what is next for the candidates in New Hampshire. We're less than a month away from the presidential primaries in Alabama and Georgia. If you have not registered to vote, you can do so now online in Alabama. The Secretary of State announcing the launch of a website yesterday, which had a soft opening last week. It's called alabamavotes.gov, and you can find a link to that website on ours, WTVM.com. Just look under the local tab.
He got punched in the face. Oh, there it goes, there it goes.
We are learning more about the moments prior to the death of a Phoenix City man in Columbus. It happened here. Cell phone video you will only see on News Leader 9 shows the brawl that took place outside of Outlaws Saloon on Veterans Parkway. It happened prior to the death of 23-year-old Marcus Brown. He died Sunday at Midtown Medical Center as a result of that fight, which took place the night before. Brown's aunt, Audrey Bullocks, spoke about how the family is remembering him.
He was a wonderful football player. He played for Shaw High School. He was outgoing, and we used to always go see him play.
Police say they are still putting the pieces together in their investigation and awaiting autopsy results as well. 6:34 now. The Lee County, Alabama sheriff is standing by his deputy who shot and killed a woman last Friday. Angela Hyatt was killed during an attempted traffic stop after the deputy says she attempted to hit him with her truck. The deputy was trying to arrest Hyatt for several outstanding warrants. She led the officer on a chase along Lee Road 443 before crashing into a home. Sheriff Jay Jones says the case is still being investigated and will eventually be presented to a grand jury. In Columbus, a military family and police are searching for the people responsible for stealing motorcycles from their apartment complex. News Leader 9's Andrew McDevitt spoke with the family and has their story this morning.
For the second time in 6 months, the Knight family woke up and had to file a police report for a stolen motorcycle.
I mean, two men picking up a motorcycle, is it going to be like, oh, that's just nothing out of the ordinary?
But unfortunately for Miss Knight and her husband, these events are becoming ordinary. In 6 months, her husband has had 2 bikes stolen from their apartment complex in Columbus, the Grand Reserves. It first happened back in July.
We were in the back of the neighborhood, moved up here to move into a 1-bedroom, and it was actually parked right over in this space, and it was gone.
After months of contacting police, they purchased a new bike and were more cautious about where they were keeping it.
We have a neighbor that has a Harley, and we parked it underneath the stairwell, and we figured, okay, his bike hasn't been touched. Maybe we've had this bike since September, haven't had an issue until Friday, go to work and try to turn on the bike, and it's gone, along with our other neighbor's motorcycle that was gone too.
This is where Knight believes they dragged her neighbor's bike before lifting it onto a truck or trailer. More importantly, she doesn't understand why someone would do this to military members.
They may not be out and deployed right now like everybody else, and my heart goes out to the families, but they risk their lives for all of you guys to have a great life out here, and this is how you repay them, by stealing their bikes.
Miss Knight is still hopeful that someone will come forward with information and help get her husband, bike, or bikes back. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Andrew McDevitt for WTVM News Leader 9.
Andrew says if you have any information on the crimes, you are asked to contact the Columbus Police Department. You can find the number on our website, WTVM.com. Just look under the local tab. 6:36 now. Happening today, we could learn who will be replacing Chris Blackshear on Phoenix City Council. City leaders are expected to announce an executive order today to replace the newly elected state representative at a meeting taking place at 9 o'clock this morning. Members are also expected to talk more about efforts to repair waterways from the Christmas flooding damage. Make sure you stick around for the news at noon for a recap of everything discussed at that meeting this morning. Happening today, the first legislative session for Alabama begins in Montgomery. Chris Blackshear, the formerly city council member, will be sworn into office formally, and Governor Robert Bentley will be giving his annual State of the State address. Joining us live from Montgomery is Bethany Davis with the Raycom News Network for the preview of the first day of the session. Good morning, Bethany.
Well, much like last year, the budget will be the biggest struggle. Again, the money coming in will fall short of what's needed to maintain state services. This time, though, Governor Bentley is not proposing any measures to raise any revenue. No tax increases on the table. Lawmakers are also not showing any enthusiasm, or very little enthusiasm, for tax increases, so that will likely mean cuts to state agencies. A lottery could be a long-term answer to the state's cash flow problems, and this legislative session could be the first to seriously consider it since Don Siegelman was governor. The question will be where to spend the proceeds and if Alabama voters will support it. Alabamians, you'll remember, voted down a lottery in 1999. And Chuck, teacher tenure changes and teacher pay raises are also some big issues to watch this legislative session. Also, Governor Bentley is expected to propose a bond issue for prison construction. Another something to be watching in this legislative session, Chuck.
All right, our thanks. Bethany Davis reporting live to us this morning from the Raycom Network in Montgomery. We're learning more about the impact sequestration is having on the city of Columbus. According to the Chamber of Commerce, more than 800 soldiers have left the city so far, and nearly 2,200 are expected to relocate or retire as well. This has cost the city of Columbus $153 million in sales and has resulted in the loss of more than 1,000 jobs.
You will feel that impact in restaurants, in apartments, in purchasing of homes.
Mayor Teresa Tomlinson says she is confident that Fort Benning will be the first installation the Department of Defense considers when they're looking to build the Army back up. Gas prices now. We have a look at the cheapest fuel in town. In Columbus, it's $1.59 at the Circle K on Veterans Parkway. In Phoenix City, you'll pay slightly less, in fact, $1.51 at the Chevron station on Highway 431 North. You can see how gasoline prices are looking closer to your home on our website, WTVM.com. That can be found under the Community tab. 6:39 today, Columbus State University is promoting awareness about mental health. A meeting this evening will take place in the University Hall Auditorium starting at 6:30. Organizers say the message of that meeting is mental health is the responsibility of everyone. We all deal with the weather, too. Here's Greg to tell us more about it at 6:40.
All right, here a quick look at that traffic conditions. Just some building volume on the north bypass. On the J.R. Allen side, over on the Columbus, Georgia side, that's where I'm seeing the heaviest volume so far. Phoenix City, just a building volume from 80 down to 431, typical for this time of morning. Fog, been watching that. It's been down a half-mile visibility in many areas, but not bad here in Columbus, currently at 3 miles. Half-mile there in Americus, Eufaula, and Thomaston, so be careful. Low beams on. Currently 56 degrees in Columbus, and it'll be unseasonably warm today. Despite the fact we're going to have the clouds out there, may see a few peaks of sunshine, and then we'll watch for some active weather to move into Alabama heading into late afternoon into the evening hours. So here's our forecast. Rain chances really should hold off until the evening. Mostly cloudy skies, 73 degrees in Auburn, 77 in LaGrange, 76 in America, 77 in Eufaula, 74 degrees here in Columbus. Again, a lot of clouds, peaks of sunshine, and well above normal as far as temperatures. When we come back next, we'll take a look at that weekend forecast.
We'll also show you who's celebrating a Groundhog Day birthday with the McDonald's WTVM Birthday Club. Plus, as the Zika virus continues to spread, more questions are surfacing. After the break, we'll hear what the virus is all about from Dr. Paula Walker-King. Now a look at the top technology stories with today's Tech Bites segment from ABC News.